Hey. But I am so hyped right now. This has nothing to do with this video. So if you don't care about what I'm about to say, just skip to this timestamp or something. I don't know. But I was playing Xenoblade X to record the gameplay for this video. All right. And as you see, it's a video about Nopon. So I was going around all the continents to look for the Nopon and everything. And then I was in NLA because there's Nopon walking around NLA. So I was just walking around NLA, and then I just decided to look at all like the shops and everything on the on the side of the street, all the different shops on the streets. And there's so many. I'm going to be making a separate video on all of the shops and see the connections they have with the real world, or just kind of going over it since Xenoblade X doesn't really get a whole lot of content made on it. And then I came up with this little song, like a little anthem, I guess, a theme for NLA. And it's kind of nice. I'm not gonna do it here. I'm gonna wait and put it in the video, that Xenoblade X video I'm gonna work on this week. And at least for me, I got pretty hyped about it. All right, it sounds terrible because like I don't have all this professional recording equipment. I'm not in a studio or whatever, so obviously it's going to sound trash. But I think it's a nice little 4-bar thing, you know, a nice little 4-bar chorus. I might make a whole song about it and make like a NLA music video, you know? So I made a nice little chorus or whatever. It's kind of clean, I think so. But y'all are going to have to wait for that. Anyway, now that that whole thing is over, Nopon are a pretty weird and fascinating species. We don't really know anything about them. And just everything we do know about them is just mysterious, all right? There are many different sources, I guess, and everywhere I've looked, it's kind of inconsistent on like the lifespan of Nopon. Some say it's relatively around humans, so around 100 years, but then there are some Nopon that live well past 100 years. Then there's the Nopon Arc Age, which is allegedly almost 10,000 years old. It's very weird. And the half sage and everything. Nopon are just very, very mysterious creatures. We don't really know where they came from. Obviously, you know, they originated in Xenoblade 2, considering that's the entire start of the series. The whole series started in Xenoblade 2. That's the starting point of the timeline. And Nopon were there before the whole Klaus experiment thing. They were already there in Mortha and everything, because Nopon are not part of Klaus's evolutionary tree. Like the chart he shows us while we're talking to him, Nopon are not part of that evolutionary tree. So they came from somewhere. I don't think Klaus even knows. They were just kind of there by the time humans showed up, I guess. And I mean, they're more than capable of just like time hopping, I guess, or just traveling through space and dimension hopping, as with the Nopon Arc Sage in Xenoblade 2. He just kind of showed up there and made his own little pocket dimension that the Land of Challenge takes place in. So Nopon are very, very like mysterious, and they just look weird too. They just look like Furbies with these big wing arm things, which is kind of scary. It looks off-putting, and they're like very, very durable. They're damn near indestructible, I think. I don't think you can just kill a Nopon, because they can withstand, their bodies are very durable, can withstand a lot of stuff and like a lot of damage. All right, stuff that would kill a human, a Nopon would barely feel. Like if you dropped a human fell from the world tree, a Nopon would just bounce off the ground like a basketball. They wouldn't even feel a thing. So it's really confusing where Nopon came from. And then we know in terms of Xenoblade X, Nopon are native to Mira. So they originated from Mira. But Mira is such an anomalous and weird planet in and of itself that just makes everything so much more confusing. Right? Where did the Nopon come from? And if they were made by some higher being, who made them and why? Like, Nopon are just so unusual. everywhere. Even on Mira, Nopon are just unusual. All right, they're such fascinating creatures, and they're all so different. Each Nopon, although they're all very similar, each Nopon are different, just like humans. They all have their own personalities, different sizes, shapes, everything. They're very fascinating creatures with almost no explanation. All right, it's almost like they are this like higher being that they don't even realize, or maybe they do realize that they're this higher being, but just don't care because, oh look, we're just Nopon, we're just here having a good time. They don't really fear anything since nothing can really do harm to them or anything, because every time you see a Nopon, they're always like happy, bouncing around and everything. You don't see depressed Nopon or anything, and if you do, it's probably some very trivial stuff. But Nopon are just so mysterious. They're very odd. It's kind of off-putting how just little we know about them. They're everywhere, but we don't know anything about them. It's kind of scary. But yeah, I just wanted to make this little video just kind of going over Nopon, just start discussion, because what are they? Where did they come from? Are we ever going to get an explanation? Hopefully in some future Xenoblade game, or Takahashi comes out and says something, some kind of something. All right, maybe we get like a Xenoblade book just to cover all of the untold stuff in the games. I don't know. I doubt we'll get an explanation for Nopon anytime soon or ever, but they've always been one of the species in Xenoblade that stuck out the most just because of how peculiar and unusual they are. They are very weird, but yeah, that's really just it. I just kind of wanted to talk about that, start discussion. Manana is best Nopon, by the way.